So we're right now here in Singapore for a very special edition of the Bleacher Seat.
Very special.
Very special. That is the voice of Tenille Dashwood. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
You chimed in before he introduced you.
Sorry, I interrupted.
And that is the voice of Danielle Moinet.
It's a big deal to interrupt intros. Don't do that on my podcast.
Welcome, Danielle. Okay. First of all, did I get your name right?
Yeah, what, Danielle Moinet?
Moinet.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, you said it right. Most people say Moinet, or I don't know.
It's French.
Dumb
right?
Americans. Dumb Americans don't know anything. Yeah, it's French, like the painter.
Right, okay. So, we've actually gone through a long session already today, so understandable if you're totally tired, but I'm going to ask you some questions and then hit back with some answers.
Great.
Sure.
First things first, you mentioned earlier that you are doing a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't released any of the details yet, but when I'm ready to release it, I'll let you
The
know.
early steps.
Yeah, but I can't really talk about it yet because there's no details. But I'll let you know.
Don't just let me know, let the whole world know.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course,
no.
of course.
Do you
I
know
will.
what you want to cover in the show?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
What subjects?
Yeah.
Can we talk about those
No,
at least?
not really.
Wow.
But it'll be good. It'll be fun, and I'll have some not a lot of some wrestlers, but not a lot. It'll be some comedians, lots of. I just have a lot of friends that do a bunch of cool things. But it'll be, informative. Anyone that wants to promote anything on there, we'll talk about like relationships, and it'll be interesting.
So you've been doing a lot of hosting gigs as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I've done like one of each thing since I've been gone. Like NFL Network, we did Microsoft, like just random things.
And speaking of the NFL, right? We know the XFL is coming up.
Wait, they're doing it again?
Yes, they're doing it again.
Oh gosh,
It's
no, I did not know that.
Supposedly coming up in February next year.
Oh wow.
I know nothing about sport
Yeah.
in general.
It's like what Vince McMahon. I told you about it recently.
You
Vince
did
McMahon.
mention that recently.
Indoor. Is it going to be indoor like how it used to be?
I have no idea how
Yeah,
it's going
that's
to be,
interesting.
but it's supposedly in February. Their teams have already been announced, their
interesting.
salaries and everything. I was actually wondering whether you've actually been approached to do something for them.
Oh no, but I mean that's great. Thanks for letting me know. I'll scout that.
You're open to it?
Yeah, maybe. Like I don't know. I'd have to look into it and see what they're doing with it again. They had to must bought the rights from Vince. Huh?
No, it is actually still run by Vince. It's a
oh.
pet project, which I think,
I didn't know that at
least
all.
on the dirt sheets, they say that he's not happy that it didn't work out in the first time.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean it's basically like football 24. I mean it's football year round because they do it when the Super Bowl's over, so they do it in February. So
What's the Super Bowl?
yeah, Tenille's not big in sports.
That's the Super Bowl is where I go and see the adverts. That's pretty much all I know.
Right.
Halftime ads.
It's good for the ads. Yeah.
That's the only reason why people watch. Well, at least
Yeah.
people watch.
Interesting. No, I didn't know. You just broke me that news, so I'll look into it.
Okay, so Tenille, you also mentioned this morning that you'll be at Bound for Glory, taking on Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I was actually doing a bit of research prior to coming in here, and I realized that you've actually not had any championship run in a while. Why is that?
I've never been.
That can't be right.
I've never been the champion at any of the companies I worked at.
That's not
I'm a
right.
loser. I'm a loser.
That's crazy. You deserve to be.
Yeah, because like you guys, the run that you had in NXT was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's shocking, surprising. I don't know.
No, but thanks. I mean, like I said, in the Q&A earlier, I feel like a lot more that I have to offer and the things I want to do still, and that is one of them is become a champion. So that's cool. I have this match coming up for the championship, so that's my goal.
And she's like the longest reigning
Impact champion. Yep.
ever.
Knockouts champion. Yeah, out of
Yeah.
the whole company. That's over like how many years is that?
Yeah,
a long
I thought it would be
time.
somebody like Kim or
No, yeah,
but
she just recently became the longest reigning champion.
Do you feel
Not for
like
long.
you're gonna
I
break
mean, hell yeah. I feel like I know I'm gonna break it.
I really cannot wait for the moment when you have that championship, because that's not right. For me, it's not right that you never held it.
No, thank you.
So yeah, good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So the topic of NXT has come up quite often. NXT superstars tend to go up on the main rosters, and the hype's not there. It's not the same as it was when it's in Florida. Why do you think that is? Like, what's the reason for it not translating over on the main roster?
I think personally because it's NXT has a very particular crowd, and it's like homegrown. So often, the reactions and all that, it's all like they usually start it themselves. It's like their own chants, their own reactions, and it grows from that. So once that moves to WWE, sometimes they lose that. Like they don't have the same audience anymore. And sure, it's like a wrestling audience, but you almost have to go back to the beginning and let the crowd form their own opinion and like kind of grow with you again. And I feel like sometimes it's I think actually doing pretty good with it these days. I think people that have recently come over have done pretty well, but there are people who have kind of just been lost in the shuffle, which happens. And I think it's because it comes from NXT and then they just kind of get thrown in there.
Don't explain
but there's no
it,
explanation, there's no storyline, there's nothing to kind of sell the crowd who hasn't seen them yet, and all of a sudden it's like you're on the back burner and you're kind of forgotten about.
Because it's the crowd the day after WrestleMania.
It has to be
crowd
explained again.
Isn't the crowd all the time. Like the day after WrestleMania, like that's a hot crowd, that's great, but it's a European crowd. It's
not an NXT.
It's a marquee crowd. It's just very different.
One of the runs you had in NXT was with Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
And that was actually a tag team which I thought had legs, But at that time, there was no tag team titles, there was no tag team division.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe, if you had stayed a bit longer, you could have been champions with Dana and just to keep in touch with her?
It's funny you ask that because we just spoke about this recently.
Right.
Her and I, yeah. And I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but I think there's potential for a one day for a reunion because same kind of thing we had a good run in NXT together. I think people like watching us as a team, and the way we kind of interacted was fun, and we didn't quite get to do that when we went to WWE together. She came in with me, and then I had to take time off because of her injury. She got put with Charlotte like straight away, so we never got to do our thing that we were doing in NXT.
Was that a decision made by creative? Or?
Yeah, because I was injured, they just debuted her. They had to do something with her, so I understand, of course. But she got paired with Charlotte almost immediately after, and then by the time I came back, they were off doing their own thing. So it kind of sucks in that sense because again, it was something that was working really well in NXT, and it didn't translate over.
Yeah, so that was also.
I've had some bad luck.
Yeah, there's another point I want to raise about what you've done, at least in WWE. You're one of probably the first NXT female superstars that came on the main roster with Santino.
Yeah.
You had Dancing Emma, which I thought was funny. I really found it was so funny. I loved it. It was so entertaining.
Thanks.
And then you went back down to NXT. Is it really down?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You went back to NXT.
Yep.
You came out as a heel, and then got put back on the main roster.
Yeah.
So you were like this trailblazer, like somebody that was, I would say, prior to the women's evolution. You had the same thing with Dana as a tag team. So you're coming in right before the big push for the women's singles matches.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the women's tag team matches.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe you were born too early, maybe came out a
I
bit?
don't know. I mean, oh, is it wet? I feel like I said, it's just a bit unlucky in a sense because I'm, I did some stuff, I guess, like with Paige and, NXT, kind of right before all that kind of kicked off. And I never really thought that much about the tag team championships because that was kind of a while after, but it was more just, the singles run, and it was more as a singles competitor. I feel like I would have done, but I think doing more tag stuff with Dana in particular would be fun because we didn't get to do that. What we could have.
A proper tag team. Like there's a lot of, at least now anyway, where teams are put together two individuals rather than an actual team.
We were an actual team. So E&D, the end.
So there was yourself.
That's cute. Yeah.
There was there's
Emma and Dana.
obviously the Iconics, you know, so these are proper tag teams rather than individuals. And it's always nice to
I like that. Yeah, I agree. I think it's better.
Same thing with the men's, you know. Less said better. Okay, Danielle.
Yes.
Your NXT run also had a big part to play in the development of certain characters like Sasha Banks. That was quite a fun faction.
Yeah.
And then you also had a part to play in, I would say, the rise of Paige was already
yeah, we had a big feud though.
Yeah.
Down there. Yeah.
But at least in terms of the WWE audience, or at least the NXT audience, you had a part to play in it. And you were probably one of the earlier heels.
Yeah.
And it feels like your name's not mentioned as often as it probably should.
Yeah, not at all. I was like, what happened with that too? Yeah.
Yeah, we just had some cool stuff. I mean, I love the BFFs. I think the BFFs would have been really good. We pitched this thing to be in a sorority. So like BFF would be like a sorority t-shirt and we would have like hazing, we'd haze girls and all this stuff. And Dream liked it, but yeah, and there wasn't really any stables back then too. And now they're starting to kind of do it with the women, but they just split everyone up, which is cool, you know, but
like you were saying, there was no like tag championships and stuff back then. So like tag teams didn't really last, or there was no like competition.
Yeah,
it's just singles.
Right, and there wasn't like a lot of really girls. Like when I started there, I was the 6th girl at FCW.
Wow.
And so like it was just always kind of under 10 people at a time, and the most girls that would be on is like 4 to 6. I remember one time we taped 4 episodes in one NXT thing, and we were all working every show, like having to change in the back. So now
that's how it was all the time.
All the time. So
we worked
every taping. So you wrestled like 3 times in a one taping, and long matches and stuff. So yeah, I think maybe there just wasn't a lot of girls too. And we were in storylines, but it was fun. I mean, it's just different management too. It's Hunter versus Vince, and Vince is like, I always thought I was more of a Vince girl, and he liked us. But it was like, if you're gonna bring something from down there, Vince just didn't watch NXT really. So you know, like to bring it up, it's just like a disconnect.
It's like Triple H's baby, you know.
Yeah.
Is there really a Vince versus Paul Hunter thing?
Well, no, it's just like NXT's like Hunter's thing, you know. So like, when we were at NXT, Vince would only watch if he was down there, or you know, like
if someone showed him
something, but he's not going to watch all the time, you know. So yeah, like I don't think there's a beef. He's being groomed to take over the company, you know. So like he likes him, but yeah.
Okay, so one of the current feuds in WWE is it's not really a feud, but the storyline. Is a repeat of what you did previously with Rusev and Lana, sort of a repeat.
Yeah.
Where Lana is currently with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
And they had an interesting show this morning on SmackDown. And then that was, at that time, it was an interesting feud. But how do you feel about them sort of repeating a particular storyline?
I mean, I don't know if it's like really repeating, because she's trying to make him jealous. Like with us, like she was with Dolph, and it was more of like a foursome. Isn't that a threesome? Like is Rusev with Maria?
Nobody yet.
No one. Yeah.
Nobody yet.
Yeah.
You're still in time to fly back.
Yeah. No. I mean, hopefully it works so Lana can wrestle. You know, like we never had our match and wrestled and stuff. So yeah, I mean, love triangles always happen in WWE. Someone could have said we copied, you know, Stacy Keibler with her marriage and stuff. So yeah, I think it's always the same things.
Did you have to coordinate your suits with Lana at the time?
No, but I had to go out and get the suits made, and oh my god, those suits I burned them probably after I was done with it.
I thought you looked really good in suits.
Oh, thanks. No, we had to do that bun too, and the red lip.
Yeah.
I never wear a red lip now because I'm like triggered by that storyline.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Those
buns. Oh, the bun. God awful. But yeah, that was fun. See, our thing was a little different, but with that, because I was like crazy stalker to her and tried to dress like her and stuff, and that's how we tried to make it different. Okay. Everyone just cheats on their husbands and stuff, you know, in a storyline.
Wow.
On TV.
On TV, yeah.
Not in real life.
You gotta make it entertaining. It is sports entertainment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I just wanna get a couple more opinions, and then you can just share with me what you think. How do you feel? Danielle, I'll ask you first. How do you feel about the whole AEW NXT Wednesday night wars?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Like anything to go back to, like Monday Night Wars. I think competition is good. I think it keeps people new and fresh, like a communism versus democracy. So that's nice. It gives people a voice. And I think it keeps people on their toes. I think, products can get stagnant. And, I think there are parts of Vince and WWE that won't even concern themselves with them because they know they're a powerhouse, but it's also parts that'll make it healthy and, help superstars get what they want as far as storyline, pay, stuff like that goes. So sure, yeah, it's great.
Okay. Tenille, I have a different question for you. Because you're, out of the girls that came today, you're the only active wrestler.
Sure, yeah.
I'd love to see you more permanently on AEW.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the same wish for a lot of fans. Do you feel like because you're not currently exclusive to Impact, that is something that can be arranged, or maybe that's something that's already been spoken about with Cody and the rest of the AEW guys?
I'm not going to say too much, but I'll say it's not out of the question. Yeah, I love doing the pay-per-view with them, and like I said, I'm not exclusive with Impact, so I'm kind of leaving my options open and making sure whatever I do, it's something that where I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I have somewhat of an input on my character and things like that. I'm enjoying the people I'm wrestling, and it's for years, like Danielle was saying earlier. For years we kind of just went with the flow and did what we were told and kind of really grateful for the opportunities, and now we've established ourselves and what we can do, and I love to wrestle, but I want to have that balance where I'm doing still ticking off goals of mine and traveling a bit, and I'm winning championships. That's not that important. But I'm wrestling people that I enjoy having, that I haven't wrestled yet, or that I enjoy wrestling, and they're all important things now in my decisions moving forward. So I'm not going to rush to any decisions and just kind of consider all my options, basically.
I would love to see you versus Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, see, that's a big one.
She's so nice.
I get that all the time.
I have a fantasy booking. It will be yourselves, with Tessa, and Becky.
A three-way?
That's cool. That's good.
That'd be really
how
cool.
that's ever gonna happen, if it will ever happen.
You never know, because that's what's crazy about the wrestling business, is like anything is possible, really.
Okay, last question will be for the both of you. Any chance of making guest appearances for, say, maybe a Women's Royal Rumble, Battle Royal kind of thing in the future?
Yeah.
Again,
Sure.
like anything's possible. It's like I'm, still have a good relationship with them, and you
I
do
do
too, right?
too.
So like, why
I
not?
feel like I don't feel like there's any of us that would be like, no, I never would.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just timing.
Yeah, and it's not even like, oh, they haven't called us. Like, I feel like if we just call them or put the feelers out, like, yeah, I would have to go back blonde, so like, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So if you ever see me like fall off of social media for like 3 months, it's because I'm having to like dye my hair back blonde. It's gonna be a process. But yeah, I mean, of course. Like, we both didn't leave on bad terms, And I think with time, fans want things.
Yeah.
Like, I've been gone only...
People ask me every day, when are you going back? When are you going back?
Like, I've been gone 2 years, but then I forgot I was, like, out for a year before. So it's really been so long for me.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, oh, it's only been a year and a half. But I'm like, no, it's been like almost 3 or something, yeah.
I personally, for Tenille, I wouldn't want you to go back permanently to WWE because I like what you're doing on the indies.
Yeah.
But just like a guest appearance or something.
Well, now there's such a opportunity in WWE because so many people are going to other promotions that I feel like they're more open to stuff.
Yeah, I think it's great. There's like competition. There's wrestling everywhere, and like she was saying, it's good for everyone to have more opportunities now.
For sure.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you too.
Thank you.